Even if you only hear one message this month, let this be the one. Dear Sagittarius, have you ever asked yourself why destiny chooses to assign a precise moment in time? Because yes, on this Wednesday, September 24th, at exactly 11:59 p.m., a door will open, and it will alter your path in a way that cannot be reversed. This miracle is not random. It does not arrive like a breeze by chance. It has been led. It has been prepared long ago. By the hand of the divine, I ask you to stay until the very end, because every word I'm about to speak will echo inside your heart and awaken your soul. And in the comments, write this vow: I am ready to receive what belongs to me through faith. This is not just a sentence, it is a sacred vow, a signal sent into the heart of the universe. Now I want to ask you, do you truly believe in miracles? Or do you think these are only bedtime tales, spoken by elders who have seen too much? I ask because what is appearing before me today could spark something powerful, a conversation, a revelation, or a quiet, private awakening. And yet I will speak this message with sincerity and steadiness, because the signs of the universe never lie. And the very first truth I see is this: you are not alone, even through long nights, even when you wake in exhaustion, when your thoughts rise and fall like endless waves. Let this truth be carved into your heart. You are protected. Always. It does not matter what others say. It does not matter what the outside world appears to be. There is a radiant circle of light, a lineage of guides, and your ancestors who have never let go of your hand. Today the cards confirm it, and the signs surrounding you confirm it too. And I believe you've already felt it. Tell me in the comments, because what is happening now is not an illusion. It is real connection. But more than that, the universe has been preparing something for you for a very long time. I know you felt blocked, as if the road refused to open, as if every step grew heavier than the last. There were moments you believed that bad luck followed you, but what you didn't realize is that your miracle has been slowly unfolding, timed precisely to arrive at the moment it was meant to, and that moment is no longer vague. It is marked clearly. Wednesday, September 24th at 11:59 p.m. At that very second, the door will open. Do you understand what that means? It means every hardship, every sacrifice, every ounce of waiting has been converging into this turning point that will alter your fate. But there is something even more sacred. Your greatest treasure is not gold. It is not external success. It is the presence of honest souls who truly love you and truly honor you. There may not be many. You may be able to count them on one hand, but they are the stars in the sky of your destiny. So ask yourself truthfully, would you rather have a few real friends or hundreds of shallow connections that never nourish your spirit? That answer alone reflects your spiritual maturity. I also see a wave of change approaching. It might be a trip, a relocation, a new opportunity at work, or a spontaneous adventure. That breaks the cycle of dull repetition. And once again, the number 7 has appeared. You know that number well. It has always represented divine reward, sacred luck, a whisper from heaven. Those who persevere will be blessed. If a sudden invitation appears this Wednesday, will you be brave enough to say yes? I ask because that decision could become the pivot of your entire destiny. The signs are clear. I see 3 keys already in your hands: faith, creativity, and awakening. And when these 3 keys open the same door, what you've longed for will finally appear. But I also want you to carry a lesson with you. Miracles are not only meant to be received. They are here to teach you how to give. When you sow faith, sow kindness, and sow gratitude, you do not only transform yourself, you open a path for miracles to reach those around you. That is the most lasting treasure of all. A heart that knows how to love, and a soul that knows how to share. So I invite you, now that you're reading this, place your hand over your heart and write down: I am ready to step through the door of destiny with faith and love. Do this not for me, but for you, because your soul has waited for this moment for so long. But I must give you a gentle warning, Sagittarius. Faith is not a passive stance. Faith must be nourished by your own actions. That's why I invite you to do something tangible. Go back to nature. Walk barefoot on the earth. Hug a strong, silent tree. And let your heart beat in rhythm with the breath of the earth. Have you ever felt your heartbeat align with the pulse of the universe? If not, try it tonight. And come back to tell me how it felt, because it's not just imagination. It's medicine, real medicine for a soul like yours that longs for truth. This act of grounding is healing. For a soul that never settles, for one who is always seeking, always searching for meaning. And I see a protective presence beside you, a feminine figure, gentle yet steady. She is no longer in this world, but she still watches over you like a flame guiding the lost home. She sends a simple but powerful message. Do not fear, choose love and choose truth. When you listen and honor that memory, you will not only receive comfort, but you will learn to turn knowledge into compassion. Where she dwells, there is absolute peace, no pain, only serenity. Recognize that feminine voice within you. It is your intuition. It is your inner compass pointing toward truth. When you share this moment with your community, you do more than honor a memory. You plant seeds of courage for others to seek the truth too. And destiny whispers to me, a celebration is coming. You will soon be surrounded by those who truly walk beside you, sharing an unexpected joy. And that blessing won't just lift your spirit, it will bring material stability, inner calm, and spiritual harmony. This is the end of a painful cycle, and the beginning of a period filled with freedom, dignity, and purpose. I want you to be honest with yourself. What miracle do you hope for? On Wednesday, September 24th at 11:59 p.m., what sign do you feel is touching your life now? A message, an opportunity, or a new awareness? Write it down now. Your words carry power. When you clearly name your hope, you begin to transform it into action. Stay with me, the cards and the heavens still have more to say. I can see your view of the world is deepening. Inside you, there's a persistent tug-of-war between the thirst to explore and the fear of getting lost, and that's perfectly natural for a soul like yours, a soul built for adventure. Don't reject either side. The dialogue between hope and fear is what sharpens your wisdom. When waiting for a miracle, people often feel doubt, but the signals I see say this: that foggy period is fading like mist before the dawn. The nights you tossed and turned, the tightness in your chest, all of it is being healed by a hand greater than your own. Those experiences were not signs of failure. They were stitching your soul back together in preparation for your rebirth into a version of you that carries more responsibility, more clarity, more depth. At times, it may have felt like your whole life was waiting for a single green light. Not yet, it's not time, you may have heard in your spirit. And I know waiting can feel like suffering, but understand this. When the universe delays, it's because what's coming is meant to last. It will be strong, it will be meaningful, it will be worth it. Think like an archer, dear Sagittarius. Not every arrow is loosed right away. Some moments require you to prepare carefully, align your target, and gather strength. And on Wednesday, September 24th at 11:59 p.m., this is more than just another night. It is a turning point. It's a sacred intersection where a deep part of you will meet something far beyond you, and a new chapter will quietly begin. I see that you've started to cleanse your relationships. You've realized not everyone around you truly wants to see you happy. With patience, you've learned to withdraw from those who do not contribute to your soul's growth. That is true wisdom, and very few are brave enough to choose it without feeling guilty. You are learning to prioritize depth over breadth, quality over quantity. A card appears bearing silence, an invitation to contemplate. Take time to reread your journal, identify old patterns, and commit to changing one small habit each week. That is the path to building enduring character. I see you reminiscing, reflecting on the journey, remembering those who have passed, and the moments etched in your soul. Amid these memories, the image of a protective woman becomes radiant, like a lighthouse in the night. She whispers that love is the key that opens every door. Even though your heart may ache, she has not been away from you for a single day. Realizing this is to understand that inner strength is not stolen by pain, it is refined by it. Now prepare for the coming movement. A deeper learning opportunity, a journey that shifts your perspective, a career invitation that opens a new path. Something will pull you out of routine and lead you into extraordinary experiences. To prepare, I recommend 3 concrete steps. 1. Write down 3 things you want to learn in the next 30 days. 2. Practice grounding for 5 minutes each morning. 3. Offer 1 act of kindness to a stranger every week. These small actions will build momentum so that you're ready to receive the miracle. And a profound educational lesson. Faith is not only about receiving, but about creating. Knowledge, action, gratitude, and social responsibility, when combined, will turn miracles into changes that can be shared with the community. Sagittarius, you are a soul of vision and inspiration. Use that gift to spread blessings to many others. Before we close, I invite you to make a short commitment. Place your hand on your chest, take 3 deep breaths, and in the comments write, "I am ready to receive by faith what belongs to me." Say it aloud, for when intention is spoken, it tends to become action, and when action repeats, it becomes destiny. A strange wind will blow through a familiar land, and you are the one who must open the door. There will be a journey, an unexpected invitation, or a change in your living environment, completely unplanned. But precisely because of that, it holds the energy of freedom. And I want to pause here to emphasize something rarely said aloud. It is the fear of change that keeps us stuck the longest. The message for you is clear, Sagittarius. Dare step out. Don't lock your own door because of old voices. The number 7 accompanying today's card is a reminder from the universe. When you act from the heart, luck will not abandon you. I also see a reunion, a small but meaningful celebration, possibly with those who were once distant, misunderstood, or missed each other in the past. But this time, you're not only surrounded by familiar arms, you are embraced by the very gentleness you once denied. It will be a moment when you feel loved not for what you've achieved, but simply for your pure presence. And strangely enough, that celebration will happen deep within you, where your heart finally finds rest after countless silent battles. What moves me the most is that this process isn't just an external transformation, it's a spiritual rebirth. A seed you once forgot inside yourself is beginning to sprout. And soon it will bloom, with no effort, with no competition. This miracle comes from 3 things: faith, creativity, and the ability to let go and see everything from a higher state of consciousness. And if you'll allow me, I want to share a small but powerful act. In the days leading up to the night of September 24, if your mind wanders into a maze of doubt, please, right arrow, sit still. Breathe deeply. Right arrow, place your hand over your heart. Right arrow, and say aloud, "I trust, I am protected." This isn't just a mantra. It's a soothing medicine for the soul that is awakening. You don't need to do more, because what the universe is teaching you, dear Sagittarius, is not to do more, but to trust deeper. And when you do that, a rebirth will begin, not a repetition, but a return to your free, wise self, no longer bound by validation or conditions. I see you shedding tears, not from sadness, but from profound gratitude when you realize you no longer have to struggle to survive. You'll look back at your journey and say, "I was never truly alone, I just didn't know how to listen." And every step you take next, whether slow or swift, will be guided by an invisible but wise force. And that force is drawing near, very near. So near I can feel it like a scent in the night, like the early birds calling you home. What is about to unfold isn't just a fleeting change, but a foundational shift, like dry, cracked earth soaking in the first rain of the season. And from those cracks, life begins to rise. But here's the strange thing: this process doesn't start with circumstances. It starts with how you speak to yourself each morning, with the first words you say, with the choice to delay self-blame or choose forgiveness the moment you open your eyes. Because you've lived for so long carrying doubts that were never yours. You've held burdens others left behind. And you felt like you weren't enough, not smart enough, not worthy enough, not enough for someone to stay. I tell you, not with logic, but with a heart that has been broken, you've done far better than you realize. Breathe slowly, be calm, and remember, you are still here. You still carry hope. And you still have the chance to reclaim what belongs to your soul. The miracle that the cards speak of isn't a prize from above, it is liberation. Liberation from what you once thought was fate, but was in truth only an old chapter. It could be a debt being erased, an illness finally traced to its root, or a door swinging open just as you were about to walk away. And while I cannot tell you exactly where the shift will begin, I know this for certain. You will feel a release so deep that it may move you to tears. Because the truth is this: balance is not the result of luck. It is the sign that you have chosen rightly with your heart, with your soul, with the path you were born to walk. And when your mind clears and your heart finds peace, the world around you will begin to blossom. I see this image clearly. You sit quietly gazing at the sky, perhaps before sleep or just after waking. The light doesn't fall on your face, it radiates from within you. And in that moment, something gentle will touch you, like an invisible hand resting on your shoulder, whispering, "Be calm, the path is still there, and you are ready now." A new door does not always arrive with a knock. Sometimes it opens when you stop holding the old one shut. Something unexpected will soon push you beyond your familiar circle, forcing you to stand at a crossroads. Either accept the movement or cling to something that has long outgrown your soul. Sagittarius, I ask you to trust your heart because this time the opportunity is part of a divine plan. It could be a new job, a new home, a journey, or someone who stirs your heart in a way it hasn't felt in years. Hear this as a gentle yet firm reminder. Do not bolt the door, for nothing from the universe ever arrives by accident. If this event knocks on the fabric of your reality, it's because it plays a role in the soul script you wrote before you were born. I know you've doubted. You've analyzed and reasoned through each step, and that logic has saved you from missteps. But sometimes, you've let overthinking steal away the most beautiful things simply because they didn't make sense. That is why, in this transmission, faith is not mentioned as blindness, but as a calm trust. A faith that does not require proof, only a heart that can feel it beating. Sagittarius, you are a child of truth, but remember, some truths can only be recognized by a soul that has softened. The number 7 appears again not as superstition, but as a quiet knock from the other side. The number 7 carries the energy of sacred wisdom, unexpected fortune, and metaphysical guidance. Pay attention to it in the coming days. It may show up on clocks, messages, license plates, or even in a strange dream. When you see it, know that a miracle is making its way to you. I invite you now to visualize precisely the moment of Wednesday night, September 24 at 11:59 p.m. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what am I ready to change in my life? Then imagine it already real. Thank it as if it were already in your hands. Because when your heart shows gratitude before receiving, the universe responds faster than you think. That is the key. That is the door you've been waiting to open. The cards reveal your life as a page that has been turned many times by random winds, but never fully closed. You've stumbled in places no one saw. You've rebuilt yourself with bare hands while others thought you were fine. Yet here you are, still waiting for what your soul knows will come. Not a miracle paved with rose petals, but a turning point filled with inner worth. You asked for clarity. You silently wished for guidance that was no longer cloaked in riddles. And the universe this time has chosen to whisper directly into your ear. On the night of September 24, a door will open not just physically, but spiritually. You will begin to see the world from a new plane. Because for too long, you've endured in silence among people who didn't understand your heart. You have loved, given, sacrificed, and often received only silence in return. But now you are about to understand that letting go isn't about loss, it's about expansion. When you no longer cling to what doesn't nourish you, light finds a way in. A relative or someone seemingly random will arrive with a small message, an invitation, a note, a glance, or just a well-timed embrace. Do not dismiss it, for within the most ordinary gestures often lies a divine message. And today's card reminds you, your voice is your number 1 creative tool. For many years you chose silence, not because you were weak, but because you were noble. But now the universe wants you to speak, to set boundaries, to express needs, to voice your emotions. When you do, the law of attraction will understand you more clearly. Your words carry weight not only with others, but also with the energy you emit daily. One more thing, your intuition is sharpening. There will be moments when you shiver without knowing why, times you think of someone and they text you, moments you walk into a space and feel, this is right. These are not coincidences. This is your Sagittarius intuition unfolding to become your compass. And about the woman who appears repeatedly in these messages, I feel she is still here. A gentle, forgiving soul, shielding you like a soft veil of light. When you feel too weary to carry on, she places her hand on your shoulder and whispers, live as if time is a gift, not a burden. She wants you to love, to feel, to dare to receive, to dare to open again. A card of reunion appears at the end of the spread. I see a banquet, laughter, celebration, but it is no ordinary feast. It is a confirmation that you have crossed the dark night of the soul, and light is truly returning. You won't enjoy it alone. This joy will be shared. With family, with true allies, people who don't care what you have, but cherish who you are. And it won't just be emotional joy. I also see financial stability beginning to bloom. A new chapter of money, resources, and freedom. Not instant riches, but enough so you won't have to stress over essentials. And from there you can invest in your spiritual life. Finally, a card of enlightenment appears, radiant and clear. It doesn't bring an answer, but unveils understanding. That what you've endured was not meaningless. That the tears you shed were not wasted. You will look back and whisper, "Now I understand why it all happened." And that will be the moment you stop resenting life and begin rewriting it. Light doesn't come because the darkness disappears. It comes because your soul has opened its eyes. That moment, the night of September 24th, exactly at 11:59 p.m., will be one of the most powerful moments in your life, because nothing strengthens your inner being more than realizing that even in the darkness, you are always being guided. When the cards speak of illumination, it also means you're now seeing life through a completely new lens. As if after a long journey of lowering your head in silent endurance, you finally look up and in front of you appears a horizon that was never drawn on your old map. But that light, it doesn't come from outside. It rises from within. It is your own Sagittarius heart, once cracked open by hope, once burning with the desire for truth, that is now whispering to you, you are stronger than you think. Within you there has always been a sacred flame, just waiting for the right moment to ignite. I know you've asked yourself before, why are all these challenges coming at me? I know exhaustion has knocked at your door many times, but now you understand. Every stumble was a test. Every delay was a time of preparation. Every tear was a seed for tomorrow's wisdom. No experience is ever wasted. The universe doesn't throw random events into your life. Everything carries a higher purpose. You are not being punished. You are being refined. You are being trained. And when that awakening happens, the way you treat others will change as well. Before you used to endure in silence. You stayed quiet, afraid to lose someone. You didn't speak up, fearing conflict. But now, you are learning to ask for respect, with the calm strength of your own voice, not with anger, but with steady love. That shift will purify the connections in your life. Only those who are sincere will remain. You're starting to recognize your own worth, and from that moment forward, true bonds will begin to form, with people who don't ask you to shrink yourself, with souls who don't make you feel wrong for being exactly who you are. And all at once, your inner world finds a strange kind of peace, as if you no longer need to argue with yourself. You've been hard on yourself for too long. You blamed yourself for not moving fast enough. You compared yourself because others were further ahead. You stayed silent when you should have spoken. But now the cards say you are learning the most sacred lesson. Your timing is perfect, and your path is yours alone. The shift in how you see yourself is the miracle in motion. When you truly love yourself, not just say it, but believe it, everything else begins to feel lighter. On a practical level, I see a financial door opening. Not sudden riches overnight, but enough so that you no longer wake each morning and worry. Enough so that you stop living in fear of not having enough. And when that stability arrives, you'll have the mental space to nurture your dreams again. I also see you at a dining table, surrounded by your loved ones. Not a luxurious feast, but honest presence, sincere laughter, and real embraces. You won't feel as lonely as before, because life is gathering around you the ones who truly matter. Perhaps the good news will come from you or someone dear, but wherever it comes from, it will feel like a gentle breeze blowing life back into a dream you thought had gone cold. But more important than the cause is the feeling. A sense of peace has returned. No more rushing, no more forcing things to happen right away. Just a deep trust that, if it belongs to me, it will come at the right time. And this is the inner maturity that Sagittarius always aims for. From here, you'll begin to make wiser decisions. You'll notice opportunities you used to miss. You'll open your heart to receive what has always been yours. And I can't stop thinking about that moment on Wednesday night, September 24 at exactly 11:59 p.m. The moment you close your eyes, place your hand over your heart, and whisper a wish you dare not speak aloud. That moment will mark a door swinging open, and it will never close again. Because the moment you dare to be honest with your deepest longing, the universe begins to move. Once you believe your desire has already manifested, the universe acts as though it's already true. So act as if your wish has already come true. Give thanks as if you already hold it in your hands. That vibration is the magnet that draws in what has long been prepared for you. And on this journey, you are never walking alone. There are invisible hands that have always held you from behind, Ancestors, beings of light, souls who walked ahead, they are with you, silently but firmly. Within you is an unbreakable strength, a sacred flame that no one can extinguish. And that light, Sagittarius, now begins to shine bright. It is not just an inner awakening. It will radiate through your eyes, your steps, your words. Others will look at you and say, "You've changed." And they're right, because you are transforming. You're entering a new chapter of your soul, not by chasing something new, but by realizing you never really lost yourself. Every wound healed becomes a new layer of armor. Every tear is a seed for compassion. Every silent prayer, even the ones that felt unanswered, has created a sacred space within you for miracles to step in. The change you're waiting for will not come from the outside world. It will come from the way you begin to speak with yourself. Peace doesn't arrive when everything goes perfectly. It arrives when you understand. No matter what happens, I am never alone. And from that moment on, you become as steady as a mountain. New paths are opening before you, and with them come choices you must make. Not all will be easy, but this time you won't be clouded by the confusion of the past. Your intuition now is clear and bright like the morning bell. It does not scream, it only whispers. This is the way, trust me. And if you are brave enough to listen, you'll realize you've always known what's right for you. On the road ahead, I see a vision of reconciliation. Perhaps with someone you once broke apart from, a friend who became distant, or a misunderstanding long buried. I'm not saying everything will return to how it was, but there will be a moment of closure filled with kindness. No more resentment, no more clinging, just a glance of mutual understanding, and two souls walking forward on their paths lighter than before. Because life doesn't want you to carry old burdens forever. Life wants you to walk forward gently, so you're ready to receive what's new, and you cannot embrace the future if your hands are still holding tight to the past. In terms of the material world, a phase of stability is being established. It's not about sudden wealth, but about timely sufficiency, so you no longer feel fear each time you think of tomorrow. You will begin to sense, I can breathe without the anxiety of lacking. And when the essentials are no longer a worry, you'll have space to truly live again. For things of deeper meaning, love, health, and simple joys. Once again, the image of movement, relocation, environmental shift appears. It could be a change of residence, a job transition, a journey, or a quiet departure that brings immense liberation. At first, you will feel afraid, but I urge you, do not resist, because behind that movement is a door leading to a place you once dreamed of but never dared to name. And I remind you again of the night of September 24 at exactly 11:59 p.m. Not a random moment, but a sacred portal, a time when the divine draws near, whispering to you in stillness. Open your arms, the gift is ready. Be prepared, nothing elaborate is needed. Simply tidy your space. Light a candle, give thanks for the smallest things you have, and when the clock strikes 11:59, open your hands wide, not to beg, but to receive. These humble acts will be a clear signal to the heavens. I am ready, I trust, I open my heart to what is coming. When you send out that acceptance, the answer will come more swiftly and clearly. Sagittarius, you are stronger than you think, wiser than you believe, and more loved than you have ever felt. Your path was never easy, but each step has brought you here, to the threshold of a miracle. Walk these days with mindful eyes, with full breath, with a faith tempered by the passing years. On that night, September 24, when the light rises from within you, let your spoken words be more than mere sounds. Let them be a declaration of the soul. I trust, I am protected, I receive what is mine. It's not because something becomes clear that it is true. It is true because you are finally ready to see it with an open heart. If at dawn you feel a gentle touch on your shoulder, take a deep breath and whisper, I trust, I am protected, I am moving forward. That is not an illusion, it is a cosmic chorus, tapping the layer of intuition awakening within you. And again, the number 7 appears, like a discreet bell, not loud, not rushed. It simply asks for your attention. If you see it on clocks, messages, receipts, or signs, take it as a silent confirmation that you are walking in alignment with what you once prayed for. And movement is coming. Perhaps an invitation, a short journey, a shift in living space, or simply a sentence that stirs a new direction. What matters is not breaking open the door, but noticing when it begins to softly open. If an opportunity arises near the night of September 24, ask yourself, Does this expand or constrict me? If it expands, say yes and walk through with the calm of someone who is prepared. I know a part of you is quietly torn between hope and fear. Do not force yourself to seem strong. Name your fear, name your hope. Both have served you well. Hope has lifted you. Fear has kept you safe. But now its role is coming to an end. The cards reveal the fog is lifting. The sun, hesitant at first, is slowly rising. This dawn doesn't depend on outcomes, but on your willingness to release what no longer nourishes and to hold on to what still lives. You are being called back to a small, sincere, meaningful circle, where those who truly care for you have been there all along, waiting for you to speak. They don't need you to be perfect. They just want you to be honest. And this is the time for your voice, once quieted by hesitation or fear of being misunderstood, to rise clearly. I am here. This is what I feel. This is what I need. But know the difference between calm and passivity. Your faith now is not still. It is a moving faith. It breathes with you. It acts with you. It pushes you toward the light, gently. So I invite you to take small but sacred gestures. Clear your living space. Light a candle. Give thanks for what you already have, even just a deep sleep. If you can, walk barefoot on the earth, hug a tree, not as superstition, but as a silent covenant between you and the universe. Because sometimes the body needs to remember what the soul already knows, that life never stops. Only the worried mind makes us think it's frozen. And once you allow yourself into simplicity, everything begins to move again. I see you revisiting the past, not to torment yourself, but to return everything to its rightful place. You forgive yourself not because you were wrong, but because you didn't yet know what you know today. And in that process of remembering, a space of reconciliation opens. It could be with an old companion, or perhaps with an old version of yourself. Don't force reunions. Honor clean endings. Peace doesn't need noise. If the moment to speak arises, speak with firmness and kindness. If the moment for silence comes, be silent with dignity and clarity. In the material world, I see a sense of relief taking shape, like a valve slowly opening. Not flashy, not rushed, but steady and real. A loop of worry is gently closing. Your mind can finally rest, and in that rest, wise decisions begin to appear. Opportunities you once missed now return in clearer colors. Be grateful. Gratitude is the oil that keeps the gears of the soul from rusting. Give thanks for every step forward, even the small ones, even the slow ones. And now I bring you back to the night of Wednesday, September 24 at 11:59 p.m. Turn down the lights, sit still, place your hand on your chest, picture what you want transformed. Don't chase it, receive it. Think it as if it is already here. And in that gratitude, whisper, I choose love. I trust in divine timing. I trust the path unfolding. You are not imagining. You are creating a vibration. And that vibration is not fantasy, but the sacred decision of a soul that is ready. Faith, creativity, awakening, 3 keys turning at the same time, and the door they open is your life in a more radiant form. I know perhaps you hear me speak of thresholds, portals, light. It may sound like symbolism, like we're playing with metaphors. But you and I both know. There are moments when life changes its flavor. Like the first rain after a long drought, the earth doesn't need to say a word, it simply whispers, drink and everything will be okay. And you will feel it first in your body, a peace that doesn't come from the outcome. A rest that doesn't ask permission from circumstance. Just an inner world finally exhaling, and your mind quieter, clearer. And then with each step, decisions you once feared will begin to feel possible. Not because the universe forces you, but because it has been tuning you for what you've quietly prepared for all these years. And in that moment, the woman who's always walked beside you, the silent guardian spirit, will whisper again a familiar phrase. Choose love, not a flowery saying, not romantic idealism, but the most sacred life principle. To choose love means choose truth even when it hurts. Choose boundaries when your dignity demands them. Choose gentleness as a silent strength that cannot be broken. And when fear shows up, don't fight it like an enemy. Invite it to sit down, listen to it, and then gently say, today I am the one steering the wheel. And if doubt grabs your hand, place your other hand over your heart and repeat the prayer we've whispered together so many times. I trust I am protected. Everything comes at the perfect time. And then you ask me from within the silence, do my dreams mean anything at all? I hear you asking that because there are 7 signs. Dreams filled with familiar images. Strange coincidences like destiny knocking softly at the door. But let me say this, don't chase after signs like someone hunting for miracles. Let them come to you. Measure them with humility and deep listening. It's not about whether you see 10 signs or only one. It's whether you're ready to be touched. And when you are ready, walk forward. Let go, receive, and give thanks. This is not a checklist. It is a map. A map toward a chance drawing closer than you think. And you know what? In this reading, I see one thing clearly. Something is about to push you off the familiar path. It might be an invitation to move somewhere new, an unexpected project, a conversation you've been avoiding, or simply a turn you no longer have a reason to resist. Don't run, don't cling either. Just breathe and ask your heart, am I expanding? If the answer is yes, then take the next step with a quiet, peaceful yes. Remember this, you are not alone. Your circle of truth, though small, is enough to hold you. And if you must walk a stretch without anyone beside you, that is not loneliness, that is space, and I want to return to your voice. All these years, you've chosen silence as a form of wisdom. But today, wisdom means the ability to speak clearly without hurting anyone. You will say no when you need to say no. You will say yes when your heart is ready. You will learn how to apologize when needed, and how to set boundaries with love. And that is the miracle, not a miracle falling from the sky, but the inner coherence you keep alive, even when no one is watching. On my table, the cards of light and reflection are speaking. One shows the fire blazing from within you. Another whispers, be still, true light doesn't blind, it guides. And you will not need to shout about your transformation. Others will feel it through your presence, through your eyes, through your breath, through the way you walk, no longer begging to be seen. The serenity you are stepping into is not the absence of pain, but strength forged from that very pain. And because of that, it won't collapse easily. And that is a miracle too, not the kind that falls in sparks from the heavens, but the silent kind that blooms from within, even when no one is watching. The cards remain before me now. One glows with the fire of your inner light. One whispers stillness, the kind of quiet that lets your light guide without blinding. You do not need to proclaim you've changed. The world will know by the way your eyes soften, by the way you're silent at the right moment, by the way you smile when there's nothing left to prove. The peace that has been promised to you is not the absence of pain, but the power you've forged within that pain. That's why this time it won't be swept away by the first winds of the season. As for the celebration you glimpsed on the horizon, I want you to remember this. Whether it's your good news or someone else's, whether it's a long-awaited reunion or simply a quiet dinner at home, the true value lies in the atmosphere, laughter that softens old wounds, a glance that quietly says, "You've come home. You're not walking alone anymore." Let that moment nourish you. Don't search for the perfect camera. Stay just one heartbeat longer. And when you learn to live in goodness, without fearing that the darkness will take it away, you have already won. The old worries that once robbed you of joy are no longer useful, even in financial matters. I'm not talking about flashy promises. I'm talking about balance, about debts paid on time, about bills no longer causing you stress, about stability unpretentious but free. And if something unexpected comes, a source of income and opportunity, receive it wisely, not to fill a void, but to nourish your peace so you can stay focused on the 3 things that feed the soul: health, love, and mission. And then you'll return to the most important ritual of this entire journey, the midnight prayer on Wednesday, September 24th at 11:59 p.m. Prepare a small table, a clean glass of water, a white candle, and a blank sheet of paper. On it, write by hand, "I receive peace in my soul. I choose clarity in my mind. I welcome timely prosperity, and I call in sincere relationships." Sign it, fold the paper with both hands, place it beside the candle, take 3 deep breaths, blow out the candle as your amen sent to the heavens. No, this is not superstition. This is a clear act that reflects what your soul has already whispered. And then rest. Rest is also a form of prayer. If worry arises, don't fight it. Place your hand on your chest. Repeat, "I trust. I am protected. Everything arrives at the perfect time." I've spoken to you about the unseen and the seen, the inner and the outer, the seed and the fruit. You are standing in between the sprout and the ripened harvest. And on the night of September 24th, close the doors to your old returns and walk through a gate that will never close again. Don't expect fireworks. Listen to the soft click of a lock being undone. Then walk through with gratitude, with faith, and a matured heart. Sleep well, drink water, eat clean, don't skip meals. Keep your space tidy. Appreciate the small signs, answer the opportunity knocking at your door. Honor the woman who always stood by your side, with a flower, with a prayer. And remember, the words you speak are the worlds you create. If you've made it all the way here, I know you felt what is opening. This is not a video to consume. This is a portal to step through. Write in the comments, I am ready to walk through the gate of September 24th. I have planted the seed, now it's time to receive the fruit. I am the light and I am awakening. If this has touched you, subscribe to the channel so the fire of faith and healing keeps burning. Not for me, but because this spiritual home needs your voice. And if you want to leave a message, I will read each line with the deepest respect. Because this is not just a place to watch videos. It is a sacred space for those remembering who they truly are.